There are moments in life when everything feels like it's slipping through your fingers. You've tried your best, endlessly, tirelessly, with all the hope you can gather, but what you're waiting for still hasn't arrived. You watch others move forward. Some are achieving what you've been dreaming of, some are already tasting the fruit of their labor, while you remain in the same place, waiting and wondering. It's not just the wait that's heavy, it's the silence. The kind of silence that doesn't give answers. The kind that makes you ask, am I being left behind? Am I too late? But let me speak directly to your heart. You are not too late. You are not being punished. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. Not for something ordinary. Not for something that anyone could walk into without breaking. You are being shaped for something sacred. The delay you're experiencing is not a denial. The emptiness you feel right now is not a void, it is a vessel. And that vessel is being carved slowly, carefully, to contain something great, something eternal, something that will require strength, not just in your hands, but in your soul. Because there is a weight that only the prepared can carry. And you, chosen soul, are being prepared to carry what many cannot. Your heart, though weary, has not given up. That alone speaks of your resilience. Your ability to still stand even if you're trembling means you are far stronger than you believe. You see, in a world that glorifies speed, timing becomes a cruel judge. If you don't arrive on time, you are deemed a failure. But whose time are you following? Who told you that your breakthrough must look like theirs? That your story must fit a certain calendar? The truth is, your life is not a race. It's a journey of becoming, and becoming something meaningful takes time. Deep things require deep roots, and deep roots are not seen, not noticed, not praised, but they are what hold everything when the storms come. You are not behind. You are underground, being rooted, being strengthened, being taught. You are growing in silence. And one day, when the time is right, you will rise, not as a fragile sprout, but as a towering tree whose branches give shade to many. The delay is not your enemy. It is your training ground. The waiting room is not wasted. It is where your soul learns to breathe, where your spirit is taught to trust, where you realize that some victories are not rushed because they are too sacred to be hurried. And maybe you haven't seen the evidence yet. Maybe no one else notices what you're carrying, but heaven sees it, and time will prove it. One day you will look back and realize the waiting wasn't wasted. It was everything. It was where you were made. So if your heart is weary tonight, if your dreams feel distant, if you're tempted to believe that it's too late for you, pause, breathe, and remember, gold is never found on the surface. Diamonds don't shine until they've endured pressure, and chosen souls are not rushed into purpose. They are led, refined, and entrusted one step at a time. You are not too late. You are on time, in divine time. And in this hidden space, something inside you is being awakened that could never be born in the spotlight. Strength, patience, wisdom, depth. These are not traits of the rushed. These are signs of the refined. This is your season of preparation. It may feel like loss, but it is gain in disguise. It may feel like stillness, but it is sacred movement. You may feel unseen, but you are deeply watched over. The heavens are not blind to your tears, nor deaf to your prayers. There is a reason for every second of your wait. And if today all you have is a breath, let that breath be a whisper of surrender, not to despair, but to hope. Because your time will come. And when it does, the world will not just see what you've achieved, they will see what you've survived. Hold on. Stay faithful. Don't measure your value by your current results. Measure it by your endurance. And above all, trust the one who is crafting your story in the unseen. You are not late. You are chosen. And you are being prepared for something that only the prepared can carry. 2. The meaning behind the struggles. There are moments in life when the road becomes steep, and each step feels like a battle against unseen forces. The soul is exhausted, not from running, but from constantly stumbling through unknown terrains. You begin to wonder, why is everything taking so long? You see others seemingly racing ahead, building their dreams, achieving their milestones, and painting their lives with bright, effortless strokes. Meanwhile, your canvas remains mostly blank or worse, covered in failed sketches. But the silence, the waiting, the struggles, they are not punishments. They are preparations. Life does not delay without reason. What feels like a delay is often a divine pause, a sacred training ground where the soul is strengthened, not just for what you want, but for what you are destined to carry. You may not realize it now, but the weight of your purpose requires a depth of character that only hardship can shape. The very delay you resent might be the womb where your strength is being formed, your patience is being refined, and your wisdom is being carved, layer by layer, failure by failure, tear by tear. Every chosen soul goes through this silent shaping. If you could see behind the curtain of time, you would understand that the universe is not ignoring you, it is preparing the stage. The light is not yet on you because the foundation of your purpose is still being built. And foundations take time. Deep roots grow slow, but they hold the tallest trees. Think of a sculptor who sees a masterpiece inside a rough block of stone. To the outside world, it's just a rock. But in the hands of someone with vision, every strike of the chisel is intentional. It hurts. It's loud. It breaks something. But every break reveals form. Every crack releases the beauty that has been hidden within. You too are being sculpted. Not quickly, not easily, but deeply. Because what you carry within you is not ordinary. And because your journey is sacred, your preparation cannot be rushed. There is meaning behind every struggle. When you were passed over for that opportunity, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. When a door closed in your face, it wasn't punishment, it was protection. When you felt like giving up, it wasn't weakness, it was a crossroad, a pause that demanded you choose again, this time with more clarity and courage. You see, the strongest souls are often born in seasons where nothing made sense. But they learned to walk anyway. They learned to find light without a sun. And they learned that meaning is not always found in answers, but in endurance. Do not underestimate what you are becoming through what you are surviving. Pain has a way of carving spaces in you, and those spaces make you more human, more empathetic, more connected to others who suffer. That kind of strength cannot be taught in comfort. It is forged in the fire. The pain you feel now might be preparing you for a responsibility so great, so weighty, that if it had come any sooner, it would have broken you. But the struggle is making you unbreakable. One day, you will look back at this chapter with tears in your eyes, not of sorrow, but of reverence. You will say, "Now I understand why it had to happen this way." The delays were not detours. They were alignments. You were not being punished. You were being positioned. You were not forgotten. You were being fortified. This is the hidden meaning behind the struggles. They are not here to bury you, but to build you into someone the future can depend on. Hold on, chosen soul. Your time is not past. It is being prepared in silence so that when the light finally shines on your stage, you will not just perform, you will transform. Not only your life, but the lives of those who are waiting to hear your story. And you will be ready. 3. The meaning hidden behind the hardships. Sometimes the weight you carry does not mean you are being punished. It means you are being prepared. There are moments when life seems unreasonably hard. You may have questioned, why now? Or even worse, why me? And though those questions come from a place of pain, they are also the doorway to a deeper truth. Every chosen soul is shaped through seasons of silence, struggle, and seeming stagnation. You are not left behind. You are being led through the wilderness where the noise of the world is quieted and the strength within you is awakened. Pain, when not understood, can feel like abandonment. But pain that is embraced with faith becomes a chisel in the hand of the sculptor. It carves away what is unnecessary. It reveals the form within the stone. You may not see the beauty yet, but it is emerging. Slowly, carefully, you are being transformed. The fire you feel is not to burn you, it is to purify you. If you look back, there are chapters you never thought you'd survive. And yet here you are, reading these words, breathing through another day, carrying a strength that once seemed impossible. That's not a coincidence. That's evidence. You have been carried, molded, and sustained. And even though the process has been painful, it has not been purposeless. In this life, the chosen path is rarely the easiest. While others seem to run ahead, your road might feel longer, lonelier, more uphill. But understand this, speed is not the measure of significance. Growth rooted in depth takes time. A bamboo tree, for instance, spends years growing unseen beneath the surface. And then, in a matter of weeks, it shoots up to unimaginable heights. Not because it was delayed, but because it was being prepared. This season of waiting, of tears shed in secret, of prayers whispered in the dark, none of it is wasted. Every tear is counted. Every prayer is heard. And though the answer may not come in the form you expect or at the pace you prefer, the timing is perfect. You are not on the world's timeline. You are on the divine timetable. Often, life doesn't give explanations up front. It asks for trust. It invites you to walk blind, guided only by faith and the whisper that you are not forgotten. The discomfort you feel is not evidence that you're off track. It is often proof that you are exactly where you need to be, facing the lessons designed for your soul's refinement. Don't envy those whose lives seem faster or easier. You do not know what they are called to carry. You do not know what storms await them ahead. What you do know is your own journey, your own lessons, your own divine appointment. Stay in your lane. Honor your process. Trust your pace. One of the most difficult things to accept is that preparation often looks like failure. When doors close, when opportunities fall through, when friends leave, when everything seems to be unraveling, it's easy to assume that you're cursed or forgotten. But what if those closed doors are a mercy? What if the delay is a shield? What if the heartbreak is the very thing that makes room for a breakthrough? There is a bigger story being written, and you are not the author. But you are the beloved character, and the author knows exactly how to shape your arc. He does not waste pain. He does not miss details. And he certainly doesn't make mistakes. You were never meant to bloom too early. You were meant to bloom right on time. And in that perfect timing, your story will carry a fragrance that only those who've been through the fire can carry. Sometimes, it takes longer for something to mature because it will carry more weight, more impact, more legacy. The longer the preparation, the stronger the foundation. And the stronger the foundation, the higher the building can rise. You are being rooted for something that eyes haven't seen, ears haven't heard, and hearts haven't imagined. But for now, the rooting is quiet. The shaping is unseen. And that is okay. Not everything that matters is visible. Let others race ahead if they must. Let others count milestones if they choose. You stay present. Breathe. Trust the work being done in the shadows. For in due time, what was hidden will be revealed. And when it is, it will make sense why it took so long. You are not being punished. You are being polished. You are not late. You are being launched. So embrace this stretch. Endure this season. Don't curse the silence. Listen in it. Don't resist the fire. Trust its purpose. Because everything in you that feels weary today is a signal that something greater is being prepared. You are the chosen. Not because you were the loudest or the fastest or the most favored in the eyes of men, but because something about your spirit was marked for more. And more always comes with a cost, but the reward is just as great. One day you will look back and thank this season. You will remember the tears with reverence. You will remember the waiting with gratitude. And you will smile not because it was easy, but because it was worth it. Until then, walk on. Hold your head high. Stay faithful, not because it always makes sense, but because you know that something sacred is taking place. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. For a mirror to the soul, personal reflection in the waiting. There comes a moment in every journey when silence becomes the most profound teacher. Not the silence of absence, but the silence that allows one to hear the echoes within. In the long corridor of waiting, you have walked many steps alone. Not because the world abandoned you, but because you were being called to finally meet yourself without distractions. Pause for a while. How often have you measured your worth against time's ticking hands? How often have you looked to your left and right, only to see others sprinting past while you wonder if your feet are failing? The truth is, comparison is the thief of inner peace. And in the sacred design of your path, there is nothing to be compared. Your race is yours alone, and timing is never accidental. You might have whispered, "Why me?" while everyone else seems to move forward. You may have cried in prayers that felt unanswered. But it is in those tears, those desperate questions, and those midnight battles that your soul began to uncover its own depth. Depth that could not be born in applause. Growth that could not be forged in the spotlight. This chapter of your life, where you feel like the world moves and you are left behind, is not a punishment. It is a purification. It is not rejection. It is redirection. You are not forgotten. You are being refined. You may not realize how much you have changed in this stillness. While you felt you were stuck, your character was being rewired. While your plans were paused, your soul was being given a new language, one that speaks in wisdom, not haste, one that walks in purpose, not panic. Remember that pain sharpens perception. That disappointment forces you to recalibrate what really matters. That loneliness pushes you to a sacred intimacy with your Creator you would have never discovered had the noise not been turned down. Some of the most defining moments of your life are not loud. They do not come with celebration. They arrive quietly, in solitude, in struggle, in silent surrender. And it is in that surrender that you are reintroduced to who you truly are, beyond roles, beyond timelines, beyond expectations. What you are becoming is more valuable than what you are achieving. Look at your own reflection today, not with judgment, but with grace. You are still here, still breathing, still capable of rising. That is not failure. That is resilience. That is a seed of greatness waiting for its appointed time to bloom. Perhaps your delay is the very thing protecting you from self-destruction. Perhaps the doors you thought you needed to enter would have led to burnout, to loss, to emptiness. And maybe, just maybe, this waiting room you hate so much is actually a sanctuary where your truest self is learning to stand, not perform. Do not underestimate the transformation that happens in the quiet. Many people arrive at success, but not many are prepared to handle it. Many rise fast, only to fall harder because their inner strength did not match the weight of the outer blessings. But your path is being carved with intention. You are not being prepared for just a moment. You are being prepared for a legacy. So when the voices in your head grow loud, telling you that you're too late, too old, too behind, stand tall against them. You are not running out of time. You are walking in sync with divine timing. And that timing always favors those who endure with faith. You are not what you lost. You are what you learned. You are not your delay. You are your preparation. And one day not far from now, you will look back and thank this chapter, this slow, silent, sacred chapter, for making you who you are. Not broken, but built. Not disqualified, but destined. And in that realization, you'll finally understand. You were never behind. You were just being aligned with your truth, your calling, and the version of you that was always meant to rise. 5. The core message of a mindset shift: you are being prepared, not left behind. There comes a time in the journey of the chosen soul when silence becomes unbearable, the pace of others feels intimidating, and self-doubt quietly settles in. It's in these moments that you must choose. Continue believing or surrender to the illusion that you've missed your chance. The truth is, you are not behind. You are being prepared, thoroughly, deeply, and with great purpose. The world often celebrates speed, quick wins, instant success. overnight recognition. Yet all things that endure, strong bridges, deep-rooted trees, unshakable people, are built slowly, layer by layer. You are not being delayed, you are being layered, strengthened, rooted. Your foundations are being solidified for the weight of greatness you will one day carry. Every storm you've weathered has taught you more than calm skies ever could. The delays, the rejections, the detours, they're not the universe forgetting you, they're its way of carving out more space within you. Space for patience, for depth, for clarity, and most of all, for readiness. Being chosen doesn't mean having an easier path. It means carrying a greater responsibility. What's coming your way is too sacred to be handled with untrained hands. It's too valuable to be wasted on a version of you who wasn't yet ready to carry it with humility, wisdom, and stability. So when your prayers seem unanswered and when doors remain closed longer than you expect, understand this. You are not being denied, you are being refined. Fire does not destroy gold, it purifies it. And your season of preparation is not a punishment, but a process of refining your soul for the extraordinary. There is a quiet power in someone who has waited well. Someone who didn't rush the process, who allowed pain to polish their character. You are becoming that person. And no, the world may not see your growth yet, but heaven does. Your unseen work, your silent endurance, your quiet faith, it is all being recorded and rewarded in ways far greater than you can currently imagine. Shift your mindset. Stop asking, "Why am I so behind?" and start asking, "What is this preparing me for?" Because that one question changes everything. It moves you from despair to expectation, from frustration to trust. And that shift may be the very breakthrough you've been praying for. You are not late. You are on a divine timeline, being aligned to moments so tailored for your future self that if they came any earlier, they would not serve you. Trust that timing. Trust the preparation. Trust the wisdom behind every delay, even the ones you don't understand. You are not forgotten. You are not overlooked. You are being shaped in silence for something sacred. 6. The closing light of hope. When the time comes, you will understand why it took so long. There will be a moment, unexpected, quiet, but unmistakably clear, when you will look back and finally understand. You'll see why you were kept in the dark for so long. Why doors didn't open when you knocked. Why certain people left. Why certain paths were blocked. And that moment will not come with regret, but with reverence. Because in hindsight, you'll realize the waiting wasn't wasted. It was sacred. It shaped you. It peeled away everything false and forced you to grow into someone who could carry the truth. Not just speak it, but live it. Not just dream, but build. Not just want, but become worthy of receiving. Sometimes we crave answers before we're ready to understand them. But life, in its wisdom, hides certain things until we've earned the eyes to see. That's not cruelty, it's compassion. It's a protection of your soul, a shielding of your innocence, until your character is strong enough to hold the weight of real clarity. When your moment comes, and it will, you will not feel behind. You will feel chosen. You will not feel delayed. You will feel developed. All the confusion you carried will melt into gratitude, and the pieces of your past will click together like a masterpiece that only made sense in completion. That's the beauty of divine timing. It never arrives late. It arrives ready. It meets you not where your ego desires, but where your soul is matured. And when it does, it won't need to explain itself. The peace that enters your heart will do all the explaining. This is not the end of your story. This is the quiet before a magnificent chapter. Hold on. Keep becoming. Keep trusting that the seeds you've planted in faith are being watered in silence. And when the rain finally comes, it will not only bring growth, it will awaken the garden you forgot you planted. Don't measure your journey by how fast others are moving. Your road is your own. Your timing is sacred. Your pace is perfect. And even now, as you walk through uncertainty, know that heaven walks with you, guiding, preparing, holding you when you doubt, strengthening you when you're weary. One day the delay will make sense. The detour will feel like destiny, and the waiting room you resented will become the birthplace of your greatest strength. Until then, keep walking, keep breathing, keep believing. You are not being left behind. You are being prepared for something far greater than what you thought you missed. And when it comes, you'll whisper to yourself, "Now I understand. It was never a delay. It was always preparation."